Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course. In our last class, we understood how to create a data frame, how to create a series, how to convert a data frame into a CSV file and the vice versa. Okay, so today we are going to understand indexing, selecting and assigning. Let me first read out, then we will do the exercise. See, pro data scientists do this dozen of times a day. Okay. Now, introduction. Selecting specific values of a pandas data frame or series to work on is an implicit step in almost any data operation. So, one of the first things you need to learn in working with data in Python is how to go about selecting the data points relevant to you. This simply means that your dataset may be huge, maybe a big dataset, but you want some specific rows or some particular columns for your purpose. So in that scenario, you have to know how to fetch those specific columns or those specific rows. Okay, so you have to know how to fetch them. That is important. That is the main theme of this complete lesson. Okay, first you have to import the pandas. Then here this is the CSV file and you are converting it into a data frame. Okay, set option maximum rows 5. No problem. Now native accessor. Native Python objects provide good ways of indexing data. Pandas carries all of this over, which helps make it easy to start with. If you have studied indexing in Python, then it is kind of similar. Okay, so first consider this data frame. Reviews. Reviews is the data frame of uh, reviews of winery. Okay, so it has this much of rows and 13 columns. Now suppose you want to see only a few columns or any particular rows from this data set. So how we can access that? That is what we are going to learn. If you want in Python, we can access the property of an object by accessing it as an attribute. So the property of any object can be accessed as an attribute. Like if the object is a book, then it might have a title property. If it is a car, it might have a color property. So you can just fetch the title property by writing book.title, car.color like that. So columns in pandas data frame work in the same way. Now suppose this is the dataset. The name of the dataset is reviews. I want only the country column. So how can I fetch this country column? For that I can write reviews dot country. So if you write this code, then it will show you only the country column. Okay, this will not show you the complete data set. I don't want that complete data set. I just want this particular column, that is the country column. So if you write in this way, it will give you the country column. Okay, the way you access the attribute. See here, name, country, length, how many rows, and data type is object. Okay. Now suppose if we have a Python dictionary, then we can access its values using the indexing operator. This is we are going to use the most of the time. So we can do the same with columns in a data frame. So if you write reviews, country, then it will give you the same result. You are just using a third bracket and inside this you are mentioning the name of the column. Okay, so the same thing, the same output, but can be fetched in both of the ways. So you can write reviews.country or you can write reviews country. Okay. Now these are the two ways of selecting a specific series out of a data frame. Neither of them is more or less syntactically valid than the other, but indexing operator have an advantage that it can handle column names with reserved characters in them. So if we had a country providence column, reviews.country providence would not work. So the problem is that let's say your column has country space providence or any kind of special character. So the problem is that if that time you use this format dot country space county or space providence, so it will not work. This cannot handle the special character, but in case of indexing operator, it can handle that also. And most of the time we are going to use this indexing operator. Okay. Now see, now suppose I want only this one. So how can I write this? First, I have to reach in this country column. So first I will write the name of the data frame, that is reviews. Then I will write the name of the column, that is country. Then I want the first row from this particular column. So I will write 0. So first reviews, then country. So now I have all the complete country column. Now I have mentioned that 0. So it will give me only the first value, Italy. See, um, this is the output. Okay. Now suppose if I ask you that I want uh, Portugal only. So what will be the code? So that time you have to write reviews country 1. First data frame, then the column, then the particular index. Then it will fetch you Portugal. Okay. So this way you can select any particular column. Now indexing in pandas. The indexing operator and attribute selection are nice because they work just like they do in the rest of the Python ecosystem. As a novice, this makes them easy to pick up and use. However, Pandas has its own accessor operators, LOC and iloc. These two we are going to learn now. Okay. Both of them have some similarities and some dissimilarities as well. First one is uh, the iloc is index-based selection. So Pandas indexing works in one of these two paradigms. The first is index-based selection, which is termed as iloc, I for index. This way you can remember, and the second one is LOC. Let's first understand what is iloc. Suppose you want to know the first row of data in the data frame. I just want this one as the output. So how can I fetch this particular row? So for that, what you have to do? Mention the name of the data frame dot iloc 0. It means that give me all the values which are in the first row or zeroth row. Okay. So you are just passing the index value and it is giving you the result. Now both are row first, column second. So this is the opposite of what we do in native Python. So this means that it is marginally easier to retrieve rows than to retrieve columns. No problem. Let's do some exercise. See here. What will be the output? First, the name of the data frame, iloc index based location. Now here the meaning is row comma column. This one is separating row, this side it is column. So here you are mentioning column as 0. 0 column means the country column. Perfect. So it will take the country column. Now in the row part, see it is written as only colon. Think it as in left side of this column, it is given the beginning position. In the right side, it is given the ending position. So it has not mentioned anything. That means it is starting from the beginning and it is going till the end of the data set. So that's why it has started from 0 and up to the end of the data set. Okay. So it is like you are selecting all the rows but only the country column, the first column. Okay. Let me repeat the whole thing. Reviews the name of the data frame, iloc index based location, and inside this is the row, this is the column. So you are taking the zeroth column and in the row side you have given only column. That means it is starting from the beginning going till the end. Okay. Now let's do some exercise, then it will be more clear. So on its own, this operator which comes from native Python means everything. This means you are considering all the rows, all the rows starting from the beginning and till the end. Now, when combined with other selectors, however, it can be used to indicate a range of values. For example, to select the country column from just the first, second, third. Like I just want Italy, Portugal, and the third one, not the complete data set. So the column is same. Column is the country column, the zeroth column. What about the rows? See, the column is same, it is 0. Now in the row, you have to give first, second, and third row. So it will start from the beginning. You are considering the first row also. So if you are starting from the beginning, you don't need to mention anything. You are starting from the 0. So you are writing nothing. Now colon, and after that you have to mention the ending point. What is the ending point? Ending point is the up to the third row. So you have to write 3. Then it will be considered in the zeroth position, in first, in second. So you will get the first row, second row, third row. You know the last one is excluded. Okay. So in this way, if you do the slicing, you can easily slice some parts of the data set. Okay. Now the next one is label based selection. This is LOC operator. That was ILOC. This is LOC. That was index based. This is label based. Okay. To get the first entry in the reviews, you can write reviews.loc 0 comma country. Okay, here you are mentioning the name of the column. So it will give you the first value of the country column. Okay, zeroth value and from the country column. Okay, so this way you can use LOC operator. Now, iloc is conceptually simpler than LOC because it ignores the dataset indices. You are just directly using the name of the column, so that in the LOC, and you are using the uh, index in iloc. Okay. We consider the dataset like a big matrix and we have to index by position. By contrast, uses the information in the indices to do its work. Since your dataset usually has meaningful indices, so it's usually easier to do things using LOC instead. Okay. Now suppose I want some particular columns. So you can write tester name, second column, third column. You want the values from this column. You want all the values from this column. So same way you have to write row, comma, column. In the column you have mentioned it as a list. Okay, so these are the columns you want to see. Column part. First part is row. In the row, you have written only colon. That means it is starting from the beginning till the end. So it is starting from zeroth value till the end of the data set. And these are the columns you want to see. Okay. Now choosing between LOC, ILOC, you can read this. All they want to say that in case of iloc, the last one is excluded. So, and in case of loc, this concept is not doesn't exist. Okay. While doing exercise later, it will be more clear to you. But read it once. This is the simple thing they have said, that in case of iloc, it follows normal Python slicing rule, but in case of loc, it is not like that. Okay. Now the next one, manipulating the index. Label-based selection derives its power from the labels in the index. Critically, the index we use is not immutable. Okay, they're saying that you can set your index by using the set index method. So here, what they have done, they have retained set underscore index method and they have passed title. So now what will happen? Title will become the index. So title was a column. See, this was the column before. Now it has become the index of this data set. Okay. For any need, you may need to do that. So you can simply set your index by using that set index method. Okay. You can transform any column to your to the index of your data frame. Fine. Now conditional selection. Conditional selection means you are going to select some rows or some columns based on some condition. Just like that, I want only those name of the wines which have been produced in Italy. So how can I write? So I first I have to access the country column. So I have to write reviews dot country. Then I will have to provide the condition equals to Italy. This is the operator which will check whether the country is Italy or not. If it is Italy, then it will give you true. If not, then it will give you false. Okay. So what it will do? It will first select the country Italy. It will check. Is it Italy? Yes. Write it as true. Second one, is it Italy? No. So write it as false. Okay. So in this way, it will compare with all the values and it will give you the output. Okay. Now you have got these Boolean values, but you want to see the data frame where the country is only Italy. So for that you have to pass this one, this code. I mean this part you have to pass as reviews.loc. Then what will happen? It will only show you the result where the binary value is true. Okay. So it will show you only those values of the row where the binary value is true. Okay. So you can see only those wines which are produced in Italy. Okay. So you have to pass this condition inside reviews.loc. This is known as conditional selection. Fine. Now this data frame has 20,000 rows. The original data had, okay, so you can guess that 15% of the wines are made from Italy. So you can guess some data from this. Now we also wanted to know which ones are better than average. Like reviewed 80 to 100 point scale. So you want to know which has accurate at least 90 points. So you have two conditions. First condition is it must be from Italy. Second is greater than 90 review points. So how can you write? First you have to give this condition. This is the second condition. These are added by operator and operator. It will check whether this value is true from here and true from here also. If it satisfied both the condition, then it will fetch particularly those rows. Okay, so you have to write reviews.loc. So either the country is Italy or the review points is greater than equal to 90. Okay, so in this way you can use both the conditions. So you can get the results accordingly. Now suppose I want any wine that is either made in Italy or have a good average. Okay, so in that scenario, this is or, so you are using a or operator. So you can write reviews dot country equal to Italy or reviews dot points greater than equal to 90. Okay, so reviews dot loc, you have to pass these two conditions, either this one or this one. If any of them is true, then it will show you that particular rows. Okay, this particular column will give you true, false, true, false. This condition will give you true, false, true, false. When both of them are true, sorry, here when one of them at least is true, then that data particular row will be fetched. Now Pandas comes with some few built-in conditional sectors, two of which is highlighted here. That is in. If you write this is in, that means it will automatically check whether it is in Italy or in France. So it will show you those two countries, Italy or France. So reviews dot country, reviews is the name of the data frame, country is the name of the column. So you are taking this data frame, you are taking this particularly column of the data frame, then you are checking whether this is Italy or France. Yes, so it will be taken. Italy or France, so it will be taken. Italy or France, so it will be taken. Then you are passing it through reviews.log, so it will give you all those rows where it is true. Okay. The second one is null or not null. Is null or not null means you are just checking whether it has empty value or it doesn't have any empty value. Is null means it has empty value. Not null, it doesn't have any empty value. So it will show you only those values where it has no empty values for which column? For the mentioned column. Price. Reviews means you are taking the data set. Price, you are taking any particular column. Not null, you are checking whether there are any null values or not. So it will give you true, false, boolean values. Now, if you are passing it through the reviews.log, then it will show you only those rows where the value is true. Okay. Now, you can assign the data also. If you write in this way, reviews, critic, everyone, then you can assign any particular data. Okay, or you can also iterate with values. If you write range lane of reviews, so what will happen, it will calculate the length of the reviews and it will be replaced. Okay, so all these things you can try. Now let's do the exercise. See, first let me run this. Now setup is complete, so dot head will show you the first 5 rows, and after that you have to start your exercise. Select the description column from reviews and assign the result to the variable DSA. It is easy. You can write reviews dot description. Okay, so let me run this one. What happened? Okay, so this is fine. You can write in other way also. If I write DSC equals to reviews description by indexing operator. Okay, now let me run this again. Okay, so in any of the way you can do. This one is better because most of the times you are going to use this one. Why? What is the problem with this one? You have just studied that it cannot handle the special characters. If there is any space or any special character, it can't handle that. Okay. Now, what is the type? For checking the type, you just have to use the type function. So if you write it, then it will show you the type. You can see the type of that particular column. Okay. Now select the first value from the description column of the reviews. First value from the description column. So name of the data frame, column name, description, dot, first value, index based selection, and 0. Okay. You can write in other way also. So if I write, let me copy this first. Also reviews and description. What do you think? It will be an error or it will give you the output? Perfect. So you can write in this way. You can write in this way also. Okay. Now select the first row of the data from reviews and assigning it to a variable first row. So reviews dot first row of the data or first record. So reviews dot, you want all the columns, so you know what is about column names. You just have to fetch the first one. Okay. Or if you write this one, what will be the output? What do you think? Same. Okay. Now the next one. First, 10 values from the description column in the reviews. So first, name of the data frame. Now give the column. You want description column. Now you want only 10 values. So you can write iloc 10. Now let me run this. What is the error? Sorry, you have to give colon because it is starting from 0 till the 10th value. Okay. Now suppose if I write it, in this way, then what do you think the output will be? See, there will be a problem because the last one is excluded. In case of LOC, sorry, in case of LOC, the last one is included, but in case of ILOC, the last one is excluded. That's why we want first 10 values. So we are giving up to 10. The first 10th value is ignored. So it will take from 0 to 9, 10, total 10 values. But here what is happening? It is considering from 0 till 10. So it is taking actually 11 values because in LOC, the last one is not excluded. So the last one is also included. So here it is taking 11 values. That is what is shown here. So if you use LOC, you have to keep it in mind. Okay. Now let me show you one more thing. If I write description equals to reviews and I write description. Now if I write, now what do you think the output will be? Will it be okay or there will be an error? No error because the same thing. You are accessing it in a different way. And this is what we are going to use a lot. Okay. Now you use this index levels 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and assigning the result to a variable sample reviews. So what you have to do, you have to mention the reviews. If I write LOC and I pass 1, 2, 3, 5, what do you think the output will be? See, too many indexers. So what you have to do? Okay. Now if I write indices equals to 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Now let's say I write um, sample reviews equal to, here I have to write indices. Now what do you think? Will it work? Oh, sorry. So, okay. So in both of the ways you can do. You can directly write the values here, or you can mention it in a list and then you can call the list. Okay, it will give you, see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, all these rows. Okay. Now the next question. Create a variable df containing country, province, region 1, region 2. See, if I tell you to do it in that way, which one we learned in our last class, if I tell you generate the following data frame, that is not the solution. I'm just telling you. If you want, you can try. Just create this data frame by yourself. Write this, create the list, put the key values, then put the values of the keys, and give the position, and try to create this data frame. Okay, this is a good practice. But here that is not the solution. Okay, here they have said that only fetch those values 0, 1, 10, and 100. And here country, province, region 1, region 2. Okay, so here what you have to do, you have to mention first the column names equals to, what are the column names? Country, province, and region 1 and region 2. Okay, so sorry, underscore 2. Okay, and here indices equals to, what are the values? 0, 1, 10, 100. Okay, now what you will do, df equal to reviews dot loc, and here you passes indices comma columns, column names. Okay, now let me first run this. See, the index position 0, 1, 10, 100. See, so this is index values, and column names are the column names. See, country, province, region 1, region 2. So these are the name of the columns. You have set the name of the you have set the name of the columns, and you have provided the indices. So you have given the indices position here, and these are the column names. That is how you use loc. Here we LOC. After that, LOC was there. See, the first position, the zeroth value, the first row, and country column. So same. Okay, now create a variable df containing country and variety columns of the first 100 records. Okay, so you can use LOC, ILOC. Okay, you can do in both of them. Okay, now first write, suppose names equals to country, comma, variety. Okay, now what you have to write, df equal to reviews dot loc, and now you have to give all the rows till first 100. So you have to write 0 to, it will be 100 or 99. This will be 99 because it is LOC. Last one is included. So if I write 100, then it will generate an error because it will take 100 first 101 records. That's what we don't want. So that's why you have to write 0 to 99. And here you have to give the name of the columns. Column, row, comma, column. Perfect. Now if I do this using uh, ILOC, then so So here you have to provide the iloc, and here I have to change because the last one is not included in case of iloc. So now it is fine, but it will show you a problem. Let me show you first. See, um, it requires numeric indexers. For iloc, you have to provide the numerical values. That is what is the difference between iloc and loc. Okay, so what are the values of country and variety? This is in the first column, and on variety here. So see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you want 0th column, you want 11th column. So you have to write 0, comma 11. Okay, so if you use LOC, you have to give in that way, but if you use ILOC, you have to write it in this way. Okay, perfect. Now create a data frame Italian wines containing reviews of wines made in Italy. Okay, so reviews dot country. That's what they have already done. Is Italy. Now, what will be the output? The output will be true or false. Let me show you. So this is incorrect. So that's why they are not showing you the output. But we can decode here. So if I copy this and let me paste this. See, this is giving you true, false, true, false. So you have to pass it through reviews. Okay. If you are passing it through the data frame, then it will give you all those values where the country is Italy. If you want, you can just print it. See, all the countries are Italy here. Okay, so you can see only those ones which are produced in Italy. Okay, now this one is create a data frame containing all reviews with at least 95 points or from Australia or New Zealand. Oh, okay. 95 points and from either from Australia or from New Zealand. So first, let's create the conditions one by one. So first it will be reviews dot country. Here you have to use the is operator. So this one. Let me copy this. But please don't copy. So reviews dot country is in either Australia or in New Zealand. Okay. So it may be either in Australia or in New Zealand. So if you run this, it will give you some binary values. Okay. Now you have to also add that with at least 95 points. So you have to use AND operator. No, let me show you another reviews dot points greater than at least 95. So equals to 95. Okay, now if I run this. Okay, so you have got two values. Now you have to connect them by an AND operator. So I can write this one. You have to use AND operator. Okay, now this is a condition. Either it is true or um, this is a condition. Okay, this will also give you some true false value. Both of the condition you are checking. Now you have to pass it through reviews.loc. So okay, see country either Australia or New Zealand. 47 rows. So there may be some New Zealand also. And the review point 100, 98, so above 95. Okay, so in this way you can use multiple conditions. So try to think of your own what are the things you can do. Let's say if I tell you that tell me this value. Um Not this one, sorry. Uh Give me only the name of the column, only the name of the wines which are produced in this particular region. That may be a condition. Second one may be that give me the name of the wines, those which are produced in this region, and the price is greater than 300. Okay, so that may be a condition. So you have to use two conditions and you have to add them, and then you have to fetch those rows. Okay, or you can also give some condition on this, like designation equals to rare, give me only those wines. Okay, so in this way, you try to think of your own. The questions also you have to think of your own, and then you try to solve the problems. Okay, the more you practice, the things will be more clear. So in our next class, we will study this one. So till then, bye, happy learning.